What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you guys have seen the past two videos, is it the past two? Past three, that's pretty much every one of my trades for the week. And so far this week, I say so far, but it's Friday. So I took 4 trades this week and I won 3 of them, lost 1 at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio for each one. So let's freaking go. Shout out to that. And all I've done this week is wait for my setup properly and take the trade. Like, I don't know what it is, but past me was literally just spamming trades all the time. Now I'm like super picky. And like whenever I'm picky, I just like end up winning, which is crazy. And the one loss that I took this week was literally because I was like antsy to get in. Like I wanted to get in, but like, so I got in and I got in a little bit too early and then it ended up chopping around. I got stopped out, whatever, right? So with that being said, let me break down today's trade. Today's trade was on Sqqq to the downside. So going into the day, every single day, you already know, if you've seen one of these videos before, you know I'm marking out 15-minute high, 15-minute low. So we got the first 15 minutes. This is pre-market, but 5, 10, 15. So we got, here's our high, here's our low. And on QQQ, what did we do in the pre-market? We went up and we swept out this high right here and made a nice wick to the upside. And then on top of that, just a little bit of like where my thought process was. If you look on the 15-minute, you can see that price has basically just been like pushing and we haven't really gotten like a decent pullback other than this. But this is like this is like the dumbest pullback I've ever seen. Look at this. Like if you watch this in real time, it was so quick to the downside and then got bought back up so quickly. It was just ridiculous. So really what I wanted to see was, we pushed up yesterday and I wanted to see somewhat of a pullback. I had an area marked out, which is indicated by this green line right here. The chart might seem like a little bit of a mess, but my target was here, which was this green line. And that's what I was looking for. If we could break below the pre-market low, which was right here, and we ended up breaking below that. But 3 main reasons I took this trade, and I'll break them all down, show you guys exactly where my thought process was and why I took this trade. 15-minute orb was formed, was created, the high, the low, and then once we initially made that, we got a bounce off that low, and then we went back to the middle of it, and I was like, that's odd. Normally we break to one side or the other, but if we're going to bounce on both sides, then I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait and see what price does. So what did I do? I waited, and then we did have 10 a.m. news. Once 10 a.m. news came out, it was more so on this candle, 10 a.m. news. We got a push up and then we got a sell off, which for me, every candle that tells a story is some candle that I want to take a trade off of. And that candle was this one on the 5-minute. You can see that buyers had this candle all the way up here and then they got pushed all the way back down. And price closed on the 5-minute outside of the 15-minute orb. So number one thing I saw that made me want to get in this, we had that 5-minute candle that told a story, right? Number 2, price had already swept these highs up here from the pre-market. Boom. Number 3, we had a 5-minute candle close outside of the 15-minute orb. Now let's switch over to Sqqq, and this is exactly where I took my trade. Took my trade right here. Now, you can see on here that in this case, this trade was a 2-to-1 risk to reward. I'm going to be straight up with you. I only did that because when I clicked it, that's what it produced. So I left it like that. But in reality, I would have stopped out more so at the bottom of this candle because that would have basically broken structure for me. So to be honest with you, it was a 1-to-1. This was my risk to reward right here. I just didn't drag this thing all the way down. So I got in right here, like I said, after price had swept the highs on QQQ, after we had a 5-minute candle close outside, and then this bearish looking candle, and then fourthly, just to add more conviction to this trade, 15-minute time frame. What do we get? Look at this 15-minute candle with a wick, a top wick that's larger than the body and the bottom wick combined. What is that? Have you ever watched any of my videos? If you haven't, go back and look. This is the shadow supply, right? I didn't make this strategy up. I got this strategy from somebody else, but it works. So I'm using it because it works. So this strategy is nasty, by the way. If you get this 15-minute orb candle right here, or my bad, this 15-minute shadow supply candle right here, and it's after something like sweeping a high up here happens, bro, you're freaking golden. So after I saw that, I'm like, all right, I'm down for this trade. Let's enter. I enter, run a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I did end up holding a little bit past my TP, so I squeezed a little bit more profits out. So let's go, because otherwise it would have been a $150 win. But in this case, it was a $172 win. So let's go. But yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much it. That's the trade. So it's pretty simple. And hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you like this video. And if you do, share it with some friends who want to trade and be profitable. But yeah, other than that, psychology has been absolutely on point. I have felt like I've been wanting to take some more trades because I feel like I'm not achieving my goals fast enough, but I have to just relax and make sure that I can do this first, right? You have to make sure that you can execute perfectly, right, before you add more and more size. But with that being said, I probably will be adding more size here soon. So stay tuned for that, slowly but surely. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like, leave a comment down below if you want me to break down anything else, if there's a video that I can make to help you guys within your own trading. And until next time, I will see you guys next week. So have a good weekend.